All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Pat from Piece of Grind coming at you with another video. We are joined here by our first ever in-studio guest, who goes by the name of Marge. Death Marge is another nickname for him. So, Death Marge coming to going to be at a band soon. Cheers. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So, for this video, whoops, forgot the music. For this video, we're going to be discussing all things Paint It Black. Paint It Black, for those who don't know, is a hardcore punk band. They're out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. When did that? I wish I had like a real bio. I'm sure they formed in like early 2000s. But yeah, we both love this band, right? So let's just talk about that first. Like, what do you love about Paint It Black?
Yeah, I think they've really managed to keep that driving hardcore that makes them a little bit special without having it become tired or worn out. So, it's not like some bands where they really try to change the style and you kind of lose what you fell in love with in the first place. They've been able to hold on to that over decades, really.
So. Yeah, they're really evolved in their sound. We can talk about that kind of as we do this. What we're going to be doing today is a draft of our favorite songs by this band. But just so you know, they're coming out with a new full-length record called Famine. It's going to be out, I think, November 4th. And that's why we're doing this video. We're really excited for the new record, so we're going to talk about some of their other stuff. But yeah, they're sort of like a modern version of an old 80s hardcore band like Black Flag, Minor Threat, something like that. But they have the hardcore influence. But I think the thing I really appreciate too is like the lyrics aren't just normal hardcore lyrics. They're like really political,
Definitely.
So first, what we're listening to in the background, just because we're in a punk mood, this is Strike Anywhere, Exit English. Strike Anywhere was, or is, I guess, still active, right? They haven't really recorded anything in a while, actually, that's not true. They had like that EP, 2-3 years ago? But yeah, band from Richmond, California. They've been doing it around the same era as Paint It Black. They're friends with Paint It Black. I saw these guys together in LA. Really good band, so check that out. So with Paint It Black, we're going to be doing a draft of the best songs. So if you haven't heard of this band, maybe you can find these songs on Spotify or whatever, create a playlist, and then kind of get into the records that way. So they really have...
And let us know which draft list is better, right?
Oh, yeah. Obviously in the comments, let us know which mixtape is better. We're going to be doing mixtapes. We're going to take 12 songs each. But let's just go through their discography first before we do all this, and we can just talk about that a little bit. So their first record... If I can put it right side up. I'm trying to think of... I should have wrote all this stuff down and prepared what year this came out. I think it was 01. Early 2000s record is called CVA. It's a great record. Their very first. How would you say, like within their discography, I mean, this is obviously the first, but what's kind of unique or different about it?
Yeah, I haven't actually listened to this album in a while, but in advance of the video today, I gave it another listen, and I was reminded at how great it is from the beginning to the end. It's definitely, some of that more classic hardcore songs tend to be a little shorter, a little faster, a little harder on CVA than some of their later albums.
Yeah, I think it brings the most heat. They're just like pretty much straight hardcore punk songs. I think it's like, what do we have on here? I have it in my notes. 17 songs, and it's probably like 20 minutes, if that. Maybe it's like 23 or something.
Yeah.
But it's real quick, sharp, fast songs. And like you said, no frills, right? So their second full length, this band's kind of unusual because they'd already been in other bands and had success. I mean, the frontman, Dan Yemin, was in Lifetime and Kid Dynamite, so maybe this is why they just launched right into a full length instead of having like demos or EPs or anything. But they released 3 LPs before any demos or EPs or anything like that. The second one is called Paradise. Whoops, again, I'm not putting it up right. These weird records are like, they come out of the side. I don't get why they did that, but this came out on Jade Tree. And I would say close to CVA, but they're getting a little more experimental, sort of like pop influence kind of comes in. Not pop influence, but like a more melodic kind of.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, they still have tracks on there that will sort of hit you in the mouth a little bit, like old school hardcore, but they are and that they are holding into that aspect that that makes CVA such a good album. But it's getting a little bit more complicated. Songs are getting a little bit longer, a little bit more melodic as well.
Yeah, not like super experimental, but just a little bit more dynamic, I would say. Some great tracks on here. And then I had it on CD, but I don't have the next album, which is called New Lexicon. But this was, I remember when this came out, and they kind of established their footing with those first two albums, but New Lexicon really kind of, I feel like, took off and took them to a new level. I started seeing them on a lot more hardcore shows, and so this one's, I think, a lot more experimental, would you say?
Yeah, again, I think it still draws on that tradition, but it's definitely pushes the boundaries a little bit more for their music and their style of music.
Yeah, and there's sing-alongs, which have always been a part of their thing, but they seem to do that a little bit more. And then they had this trip-hop outros on a lot of songs, which is kind of weird, and I actually don't know if I've ever really fully been into it. It'll just be 30 seconds at the end of a song. But it's just cool that they were mixing things up, and I remember seeing interviews with them, and they were saying we didn't want to just keep writing the same record over and over. So that's a New Lexicon. We'll put it up on the screen here. Okay. After that, they basically released 3 kind of 7 inches EPs. The first 2 I have, which came out in 2009. This is Amnesia. And I think similar to New Lexicon, but in a different way. They just kept writing songs. They're still dynamic, but it's like you said, none of their releases kind of sound the same, which is nice, but I wouldn't say it's terribly off what their bass sound is.
Yeah, I think that's really difficult for bands to do, right? Both progress as a band, but also maintain that thing that you love about them, and that's Painted Black has managed to do that, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least from my taste.
Oh yeah. Second one was Surrender. If I'm being honest, this is probably my least favorite release from them. However, it is still very good. It is only 4 songs, and a couple of songs are pretty short. But you're still going to get real Painted Black stuff. There's still a couple songs that, Cypher's just a 30-second banger. Worms has this kind of big sing-along part at the end. So pretty like them. I don't know why. The songs haven't quite stood the test of time for me. But we'll see. The interesting thing about this game we're going to be doing is both of us, we'll talk about the rules, but both of us have to pick a song off every release. So every one of the 3 7 inches, 3 full lengths. So it'll be interesting to see. There's only 4 on this one, so
yeah,
we're going to have to narrow it down. But that's Surrender. And then their final release was called Invisible. And I actually thought that was great. And that came about 4 years later. I think it was 2013. And I don't have a copy of that for some reason. I know I bought it at the time. I should have it around here, but can't show it. But really kind of getting into really good songwriting, I feel like. Really good lyrics. It's
definitely my favorite out of their EPs.
Yeah. So that one will be tough. I think that one there could be multiple songs to choose from, but that's it. And they also had a single, a Goliath single and stuff like that, some other things, but that's pretty much their discography, those 6 releases, and then they have the upcoming full length on Famine. You can already go check out their new songs on Bandcamp, but why don't we get right into the game, man?
Sounds good.
So let me take a quick break. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be the Painted Black song draft of 2023. Probably never been done by a YouTuber. Maybe there's some kids out there who did a little draft of songs, but we're basically going to trade off and just choose our favorite songs for a mixtape ourselves. And the rules will be, we're going to take 12 songs each. We are going to take at least 1 song off every record. So if you get to the end and you need a song off another record, just make sure you have 1 off every record. And then if I take one, you can't take it. It's off the board. What else? Was that it, or did we say there was another rule?
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay. So, without further ado, do you want to go first?
Don't we have to flip a coin, or I guess we probably don't have a coin.
I'll just let you go first. You're the guest.
That's how generous. Sounds good. I'm gonna start with first track off their first album.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a short one. Cannibal. Such a good song. I think, it's fast and hard, and some of the lyrics I think are really great.
What lyrics? What do you?
I love the "You're dead inside. I can smell it on your breath." It's just
I thought it was about vegetarianism. Maybe it is. Maybe you can say it is.
I'm gonna claim it.
But like really about consumption a lot, right? But it just hits you so hard right off the bat. That's when you fall in love with CBA. What do we have on here? How long is it? 35 seconds. So I mean, they get right to it. It's an excellent choice. Glad to see it gone. Okay, so it's my turn. You chose probably the best first track off an album, so I don't want to get snaked on this. So I am going to take the song Salem, which appears on the Amnesia 7-inch that came out in 2009. So Salem kind of starts with this like weird little bass intro, like ding, 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 and then it like picks up into it starts slow and it really builds. It's got this really political theme, really anti-religious theme. I just love the lyrics. I love like Yemen going kind of nuts at the end, shouting "No submission." I just think, other than Cannibal, it's like the best opening track. So I'm gonna take that. What do you think of the pick? What's your take?
Yeah, well, now I'm worried. We were talking a little bit earlier about Amnesia and Surrender being shorter albums. I'm a little worried that you'll take the other one I was thinking of for Amnesia, so I'm gonna go.
Wait. Before you do your next pick, though, you have anything to add on Salem? Let's dwell on these songs a little bit, so we're not just let it.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the focus is a little bit about, not a little bit. The focus is religion, and the way he approaches it, I think, is interesting and puts it into a great track.
Okay, cool. All right, so you're up. So your strategy now is going to be you can't lose the two songs you love off Amnesia. So what's the other one you love off Amnesia?
I really like Nicotine as well.
Okay.
I think it's got a really good sort of pace to the song. I love that the lyrics about like invisible and killing us slowly day after day, like the violence of a cigarette, like that. I think that analogy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I guess
and really it's like one of those that slows down at that DACA violence, da 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 da. It's really it's kind of vintage PIB.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marge just chose what was it? Nicotine off Amnesia. So it's back to me. I guess we're not doing this like a snake, huh? Yeah, we don't need to do it like a snake. There's only two of us. That's dumb. So many choices here. So many choices. What am I gonna do? Feels like a wide open board. I think I'm gonna go with Four Deadly Venoms, second track off New Lexicon, and just a total ass kicker. Really fast, charged, kind of long for one of their fast songs. It's like 1:37, and keeps saying he's got a chronic fucking defect in his head.
Yeah, it's such a good song.
It's such a good song. Yeah. Okay, so Four Deadly Venoms. That's my pick. What's your take?
Yeah, it's a great song. City that shoves you back. It's
great line.
Definitely a great line, a great song. And like you said, it really, for a fast, hard song, it hangs around for a while and really...
Yeah, it kind of goes like mid-tempo a little bit at the end, and it kind of sits there. But cool. So that's my pick. So we've done two each. Your third pick now. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to Surrender. Another LP. I was a little worried that my picks might get stolen by you, so that's where I'm headed next. I'm gonna go with the shorter, faster song on that, Cypher.
Okay.
It's a great song. Singing the world's end with a smile on our face. I like the image. I like the way it fits into the album as well. I think it really kind of provides a nice change of pace for some of the other songs on the album.
Yeah, again, great track. It's like 40 seconds or whatever. I think that's probably the best song off that EP, so it's a good choice. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I could go in so many different directions. I am going to take. I think I'm going to go to CVA and take CVA. Title track. So this, a couple of their first albums had themes. CVA was about a stroke that the singer Dan had when he had to be under 40. He was probably 35 or something. I don't know, but really young to have a stroke. And CVA is all about that. So then when they kind of, when he says, apparently I'm not too young to die, like, love that shit. It's just, like, interesting thinking about that. And just a great song, too, musically. So that's my pick.
Yeah,
What's your take?
I do love that part of the song, too. Guess what? I'm apparently not.
Yeah, too young to die.
Yeah.
Or even just, hooked up, sucked dry. He's like, talking about when he's hooked up. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's just take stock of where we're at. No one's picked a Paradise song yet. But that's fine. Only one off New Lexicon, and none off the latest EP. Mm-hmm. But it's early. It's early. So let's see. For your fourth choice, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to New Lexicon, and I'm gonna take White Kids Dying of Hunger.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have this on my radar, but I'm not saying it's bad. But what do you give me the take. What do you love about this song?
The title is kind of funny in and of itself, and then the way the song comes at you and some of the lyrics I think are just, they present a nice sort of pushback on some of what we see out there in the world.
Yeah. And it's like right in the middle of the album, right before Gravity Wins. It's kind of like, in fact, I wish I had the album. I wonder if this closes. It probably does. Well, would it close out the first side? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a great track.
Yeah. Wish I Had Your Faith, Then I'd Feel Safe. That's a great classic Painted Black line.
A lot of good anti-religious stuff on this album, and that song's one of them.
Definitely.
So yeah. Okay, cool. For my fourth choice. So many songs to choose from. I think I'm gonna go with The New Brutality off Paradise. So The New Brutality, I actually kind of felt like I had to get this one because I had a college radio show called The New Brutality, and it's actually it's like my Twitter and Instagram handle and everything. So I've just always loved this song ever since it came out. It's just got multiple parts to it. The fast part, the slow part, slow it down. Great lyrics, kind of real. Gets you jacked up, especially when he's doing the fight back stuff. So always loved it. It's a classic. It's got to be my favorite song off Paradise, and so it's my choice. What's your take?
Yeah, I didn't mark this down as a song I was going to take simply because I associate it with you, but that doesn't mean it's not a great song. It is.
Yeah.
It's a classic, and it's a great song.
All right. Fifth song to you.
All right. Well, I guess I'll stay on that album and go with a song that I'm picking for a special reason. It's probably not the best song on the album, if we're being honest.
Okay, this is interesting.
I have a husky who looks very wolf-like, and this song always makes me think of him with the line, "We left the wolf in charge of tending the flock." So I'm going with Panic off of Paradise.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think much of this until we listened to it recently, and then I thought, oh yeah, those are some great lines. What does he say before that? Leave your hope at the ballot box. Yeah. So it is a good one, and actually that Paradise, sort of after Burn the Hive and Panic, kind of drops off for me. Yeah. So that's kind of to me the last of the good songs until you get to the end of Memorial Day. So it's part of a good stretch there. Labor Day, Burn the Hive, Panic. So yeah, good choice. Oh wait, I have that. That's you. Okay, so now we're on to my fifth pick, huh? Okay, so I will take We Will Not off the New Lexicon. Probably if I would say if other Painted Black, sort of less hardcore fan. Well, I don't know what I want to say, but this actually kind of came late in this draft. I feel because this song at the time was huge. So somebody who's kind of got into them with this album might have taken this really early. It's just such a catchy classic opening intro. The whole thing with the drums, and when he starts doing the talking, and then it obviously speeds up. But it's just so catchy. I mean, they have a few songs like that. I wanted to make sure I got one kind of that starts slow and kind of has the anthem feel to it, and yeah, it's just a great song. What's your take?
Yeah, no, it is a great song, and I mean, just sort of more generally, one of the things that we were talking about in advance of this was sort of like, there's so many good songs. Like, we started out with like, maybe we'll pick 10, maybe we'll pick 20, and there's too many good tracks by this band, so.
Too many good ones to choose from. Yep,
Nothing but the hits, yeah.
So we are through 5? No, do we each have 6 now? 1, 2,
I have
3,
5,
4,
I think.
5, 6. Now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, 5 each. Mm-hmm. Okay. I accidentally write down my name instead of yours for one of them. Okay, so 5 each. We're not even halfway. So, on to you for your 6th pick.
Yeah. Another song that I think just really is a Painted Black classic with some classic Painted Black lyrics. Props for Ventriloquism off of Invisible. Love this song. One of the lyrics that always sticks with me is, know all the steps but you got no swing. It's I know why the cage bird sings type of thing. It's just such a great line.
Yeah, and they're so good at like taking something that's like clearly hardcore punk, and then it'll just go into this catchy line like that, like da 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 da. Like the beat is almost like poppy. I don't want to say it's poppy, but it's like they just have that, but then it's like Yemen's voice singing it, and then it's still packing you with a punch, but it's kind of like a break in the song that's very melodic and catchy. I don't know. It's great. Yeah, that's a good song.
Agreed.
Cool. All right, for my 6th. Let's see here. What do I want? I think for my 6th pick, I'm gonna go with Womb Envy off CVA. 3rd track off CVA. Just classic. Pretty fast, kind of slows down at some point, and then just, I don't know, great lyrics when he's, it's a lot of like gender stuff in there, obviously, and I don't know, it's just great. I think it's one of the best songs off CVA, and that's saying a lot because they have 17 songs. So, what do you think?
This was also on my list. It's a great, like you said.
So I stole it from you.
You did.
You're hurting now.
I'm a little upset. Yeah. I mean, there's like you were just saying though with the last song. There's these points where it's not like it's poppy, but it's catchy in a certain way, and that certainly is true on this song as well. Fuck competition, turn my back on division.
Oh yeah.
Like the way that sort of Yemen sings that over the music is like it's catchy. It's a hook, but it's still hard and still driving. So
yeah. All right, on to you for we're halfway through, 6 songs each. So let's see, we got 3 from CVA have been picked, 2 from Paradise, 3 from New Lexicon, and then 2 off the first 7-inch, 1 off the next 2 7-inches. So pretty good variety. We're spreading it out pretty well.
Yeah. How you feel about your first 6?
I feel good. I got to deal with the 7-inches at some point. Not that I don't like them or anything. It's just like I feel like I'm picking a lot off the LPs, and at some point I got to dig in to Surrender and Amnesia. And I did take Salem off the one, but I don't know. What about you? Was there one like, if we're doing a halftime like analysis or whatever?
Yeah.
Is there one that like you really wanted I took? Or?
I'm kind of wishing I picked Womb Envy earlier, because that's a great track.
Yeah.
And, so I'm sad to lose ground on that to you.
Yeah, yours for me, I think, would be Props for Ventriloquism and Cannibal, I guess. But I kind of knew you were going to take Cannibal if you got first pick. So, but Props for Ventriloquism, and then a little bit like when you were talking about Panic, I was like, oh yeah, I wish I could have Panic now. But anyways, so on to the second half. We're going to pick 6 more songs, and let's see. On to you for your 7th pick.
Sounds good. I think in order to make sure that this song also doesn't get taken off the CVA, I'm gonna go with Atticus Finch.
Okay.
It's like it's a great song. There's like some kitschiness in it a little bit that I really enjoy with the don't talk till you take a walk in my chucks.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like
shit out of luck.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like it's a little kitschy, but it's really cool, and the way it fits in the song is just, it's a classic. So
yeah, it's awesome. I think like when I went into this, I was thinking like, okay, I better get either Atticus Finch or We Will Not, and I had a tough time choosing between the two, and then I ended up taking We Will Not a couple rounds ago. But if you had like say taken Atticus Finch with your number one, I would have just gone straight to, or We Will Not with your number one, I would have gone straight to Atticus Finch, because I want one of these slow anthems that are great live. I mean, this is obviously a mixtape we're listening to. We're not talking about live performance, but you can just feel kind of the energy. I associate those two songs together, and there's others that are like it, but those are really like the two. And I was just looking like, we've taken 4 of the first 5 songs off CVA. I mean, that album just starts like and the one that hasn't been taken yet, Anesthesia, is also a really good song. I mean, just from Cannibal to CVA, when you have like Atticus Finch in there and then CVA, like what a crazy run of good songs.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, New Lexicon has one too, with like kind of starting at song 2 through 6 or whatever, but that's just such a power-packed thing as I'm looking at my list. So, great choice. Okay, so on to me for my 7th pick. I think I'm gonna take Greetings, Fellow Insomniacs, which is the first track off Invisible. And I was torn between this and Invisible. I like both of them, and Invisible is kind of like, I think, a little bit more, like a more sophisticated song lyrically and stuff. But Greeting, Fellow Insomniacs, I just like, there's something about it, he just comes in to where it's like so good the way he, I don't know, is like singing it, and some of the lines in it, like, what is one is like, your blood, or my blood, your blood is on my, what is it? Something, my blood is on your hands, and that's not a fucking metaphor or whatever. Like, and then there's like, what's the other one that's really good in it? I can't remember now, but it's like every line has kind of got this like really intense kind of like political thing to it, and I don't know, it's just a great song. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a great political song. It's a great song to start off that EP, and like I said earlier, I think this is my favorite out of the EPs that they've done. So
yeah,
it really kind of sets the tone for the album in a way that gets you to start off on the right foot.
Yeah. I know what it is. The lyric I was thinking of that you would appreciate was, at one point he says, "What you call living feels more like dying if it feels like anything at all."
Yeah,
that's a great line.
That is a great line.
So yeah, that's my 7th pick. Alright, we're 7 picks in. We had to change out the record. The record we're going to be playing now, another punk band that I love, Hit the Switch. It's called Observing Infinities. This came out in, well, People Punk Rock Records redid it in 2021, but I think it's like 09. I remember it coming out when I was a grad student at Santa Barbara, and they came up to Santa Barbara and they played one of the coolest shows. It was supposed to be at this like person's house or whatever, but then the cops apparently came the night before and shut it down, so they were like, oh, where do we do the show? And this one guy's like, well, I got a storage space. So we just all crammed into the storage space, and Painted Black, or Hit the Switch was playing all these songs. So it's really good stuff. They have an album after this and an album before this. Just an awesome band. Check them out. So playing in the background, but let's get on with the Painted Black game draft. First ever, first annual.
Yeah.
You are on your 8th pick, I believe. Or wait, is it me or? No, yeah, it's you. 8th pick for March. What do you got?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go to New Lexicon and take Past Tense, Future Perfect.
Ah, damn it.
Good track. I love the way it starts off. Nothing to do with luck, nothing to do with sin. Kind of hits you with the political lyrics just at the beginning, and it's a banger.
It's so epic at the end. In fact, I'm like looking at this thinking, how did I not get this? It's like, wait. And I think it's because I took Four Deadly Venoms and We Will Not, which are like 2, 3, and then I was just kind of looking at that region being like, oh, I have stuff off that album, but like, this is honestly like one of my favorite songs by them. Like probably a top 3 to 5. So it's an awesome pick, and it was too long. I don't know how I didn't get it, but yeah, good choice. I just love like that ending too, kind of where he's like, we're out of his jurisdiction for God, and then it's like, like they do that kind of, like I said, it's almost like a pop punk guitar lead or something.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. Okay. Where am I going? Well, I got to deal with these 7 inches at some point. Oh, I guess I did take the one off Invisible, so I think I'm gonna go with Pink Slip off Paradise.
Good track.
So it's the number 2 one. And yeah, it's like kind of labor theme working. It's got catchy stuff. It's got hard driving. It's kind of like everything, I don't know, everything they embody. So I think it's a great song. It's probably, top song on that album for me. So that's my choice. What do you think?
Yeah, it's such a good song. Got War on the Mind all the time.
Yeah.
It's one of those other sort of songs that just stick out in my head when I think about Painted Black.
Yeah.
And what they bring to the table.
Yeah. All right, on to you for your number 9.
I'm gonna go a little bit.
So you have one off every for now, so you can really go anywhere.
That was the hope. The hope was I got to cover my bases first, and then then I get to go back. But I really like that. It's a song that I don't think necessarily is like a classic Painted Black song. I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me on it, but it's a song I absolutely love, which is Little Fist off of Invisible.
Okay.
I think it's the song. I think just really presents the lyrics in a way that are interesting and kind of fun, and like there's like a little bit of like hopefulness, which is weird for a song that I like, because usually the songs I like are not very hopeful. But there's just like there's so many great lines in it. Did you see too much with your eyes open fucking wide? The way that kind of hits in the song is excellent.
Yeah, I think it's about his daughter, right? And it's a little bit like Parenthood. He says "Good morning, bright eyes" at the beginning, so that's interesting. I mean, as a new parent, I haven't really like gone back and absorbed the lyrics. There's some other bands like the one I'm thinking now is Converge, Single Teardrop. I remember listening to that after Graffin was born, and I almost started crying because it was like, it was like about his son. And then I haven't really like sunk myself into this one since I've become a parent. So, but yeah, it's a great choice. I mean, I love all the songs off this 7-inch. In fact, onto my pick now. I'm now going to go with Invisible because I love this song. It's a closer. It's a banger. I think I think the lyrical content is kind of like a feminist theme. And I think it's just, beyond just like feminist theme, it's kind of like the idea of feeling invisible, not being seen, stuff like that. Like, but it's also just got like, I don't know, all the same stuff that makes them so great. It's a great epic sort of closer track. So that's my choice.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great way to end the EP, which, you can't really go wrong with that EP. I think it's a fantastic record. So
yeah, it's probably the best, I think, of the 3. All right, on to you for your 10th pick.
All right, I'm gonna stick with my, kind of picking songs that, like the last song, that maybe aren't, the best example of what we love about Painted Black, but it's a song I love nonetheless.
Yeah, this is all about you, man. It's your mixtape.
It's Memorial Day. The last song off of Paradise.
That embodies Painted Black. I thought you were going real rogue with like I'm just gonna pick one of their anthems that they close their sets with live or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but it ends with an acoustic guitar, and it's not your sort of classic Painted Black song in a lot of ways, but it's a great song.
It's kind of amazing it lasted this long.
Yeah.
Especially for you, because you love it.
I do love it. But I knew you weren't gonna pick it, so I could leave it. I could leave it in the wings a little bit.
I like it. I'll leave it at that.
I'm not convinced.
It's a good one though. It's a great way to end the album. It's obviously a sing along.
Yeah.
Skinned knees, sutured hearts, unhappy endings, and all the false starts. Fun to sing live. Like, it's a great song. Yeah. So on to me for my number 10, huh? So I gotta pick something off Surrender. So I'm gonna go with the song Worms, which is sort of their. I feel like it's sort of kind of trying to be like an Atticus Finch in those songs, but it's like it's a little not quite as good as that, but it's still got some good stuff at the end. I like kind of when it slows down, and then he's got the anti-war theme. We won't be meat for the war pig scene, that whole thing. So I think it's probably the second best track off this record. I'm not a huge fan of the other two, and you took the one Cypher that's really good. Yeah. So that's the one I'm going to take. That'll be my representative from this 7-inch.
Yeah, if you had taken Cypher, I was going to go with Worms. So
yeah,
I think those are the two best tracks.
Cypher, the first one is pretty good too. It's like not quite there. Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. All right, you're number 11. We're down to 2 left. So you got to really think now. Like, what did not get into my?
I know. It's tough. I'm gonna go back with another short song.
Okay.
Off of CVA. Head Hurts, Hands on Fire.
Okay.
Dancing on Your Grave.
I almost thought you were going to go with The Insider there, but yeah.
I almost did.
Yeah, no, that's is that the one where he's like, pick it up, or it's like some kind of, I don't know, I can't remember the lyrics now. I gotta go back and listen, but this stretch where it's like from Cutting Class down to like The Fine Art of Falling Apart, this is like a great stretch. Bravo, another beautiful fuck you song, and Head Hurts, Hands on Fire fits right in with that, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so 2 songs left is tough. I think I'm gonna go with Gravity Wins off New Lexicon. Kind of a slow mid-tempo, ding 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 ding, but also like a really fun song, really fun. Still kind of that sing-along atmosphere. Like I've seen them play live and they'll open with this song, which is just kind of cool because normally they'll open with like a real fast like Heat song, but this is just kind of. And I love fits in with, we already talked about it, so many of the New Lexicon songs being anti-religious, but like at one point he says, you point your finger instead of trying to live your life right. I love all that shit, and just kind of the hypocrisy of Christians and Christianity, and then you're gonna fall, gravity wins. It's just like such a great line.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had to have it on here somewhere. I'm running out of time, so I finally had to take it, because for a while I was like, well, I got too much on this album, New Lexicon, but I did really want this song, so that's gonna be my 11th choice.
Makes sense. I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but there's so many great tracks that it's almost hard to think that Gravity Wins is at this point in the draft, but there's a lot of other great songs out there as well, so.
Exactly. So, all right, now we're on the last song.
Yeah.
So you gotta make it count. What do you got?
This might be surprising, hopefully.
Okay.
I'm gonna go off of Paradise, Nicaragua.
Okay. No, I had that on my short list. It might have even gone if it's a great song.
Yeah, treat people like pigeons. Hope they peck out your eyes. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I don't really know. I don't know. Like, I hate just saying like, oh, I know what the song's about, but I always think of it as like, you kind of, I don't know, like xenophobia or something. Like, you're kind of characterizing people you don't know in a certain way, and he's just like, fuck you. I hope they peck out your eyes. Like, it's just a great. That kind of attitude that Painted Black has against like that kind of ignorance,
Amen.
Okay, so my last song.
Yeah. Final pick.
God, I can't believe Burn the Hive is like unpicked. I'm not gonna pick it. Ghosts would have been a good one off Paradise. I really like the second song off Amnesia, Homesick. I'm just throwing stuff out here, but I think what I'm gonna go with is the final song off CVA, Why Film the Carnage. It's short, it's like 45 seconds, but it's just a great cap to the album. It would be a great, I'll have to think, it's going to be tough when we do the we're going to follow up with a video on this where our friend who also loves Painted Black critiques our lists, and so we're going to be able to arrange our songs in any way we want. And it's going to be interesting for me with some of these bangers, like what do I do last? I mean, you have Memorial Day and stuff, but like and this is just a great last song. I mean, and I don't know, for me it's like personal because, so I've seen them probably like 8 to 10 times, because just in the 2000s we were always going every time they came out to California, which was like at least once a year. And it's a song that not, even though CBA songs are known, like Wumembe and stuff, it's a song that's just like not as known by the fans. So like, I could always force my way up there to get to the part where when the music stops and he says like, we're still here, or whatever, like I could force my way up there, and every time he would like put the mic in my face and I would scream it. So it's like I have this like live connection with the song where I was screaming the like, kind of like gang champ part. And so that's going to be my final pick, yeah.
It's a good pick.
So how do you feel about your list? Any looking back, are you like, oh, I probably took that too early, or I did, I should have taken this song, or are you pretty satisfied?
I mean, definitely, every decision is an opportunity for regret. So definitely have to think over that a little bit. But ultimately, I feel like I ended up with 12 really good Painted Black songs.
All right, cool.
How about you?
I think, yeah, I like mine. I'm just looking at it. It's kind of like I got 3 off CVA, 2 off the one. I mean, I'm pretty heavy on New Lexicon, but I do think that's probably my favorite full length of theirs. So, especially like the first half, I got 4 in the first 7 songs. Kind of like Wayne's towards the end, some of those songs, but either that or CVA would be my top. And then, I got the 2 off Invisible that I really like. So I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, though. We'll have to get competitive when our friend Toby's going to critique these lists. But yeah, that's the video. Do you have any last parting words about Painted Black or anything you want the people to know?
No.
So Painted Black, Dan's other band, Open City, has a new album out. So go check out Open City if you like Painted Black. Check out the new Painted Black, obviously. Go buy it. Go buy the physical version. Listen to this band. We love them. If you love them too, post below what your list would be if you had 12 songs to pick. What did we screw up? You should have taken this track or whatever. We want to hear all those comments. Interact with us on it. And yeah, we love this band. So keep listening to them. Keep listening to the underground shit. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.